This is Bruce Bochy, and you're listening to the Ranger Report.
The Ranger Report. Yeah, the Ranger Report. If you want the inside scoop, listen to the Ranger Report. Oh, here we go.
This is the Ranger Report podcast. News, insights, predictions, interviews, and information about the Texas Rangers from the major leagues to the minor leagues. And now, here are your hosts, Ben Dieter and CJ Berryman.
Welcome to the Ranger Report podcast, your source for the Texas Rangers on the Fans First Sports Network. And of course, as always, brought to you by Walton's. Walton's, everything but the meat. Coming at you on the Premier Health Solutions Hotline. So we are excited to be on tonight doing a little extra special episode because, well, something just happened, CJ, with the Rangers. I believe they have advanced to the American League Division Series.
Yeah.
I think Nathan Eovaldi's back.
Yeah, it sure looked that way today. He was dominant. 6 2/3. I'm CJ Berryman. By the way, you can catch me at CJB_RR.
Oh, yeah. I'm Ben Dieter.
Unless you want to bitch at me about the Rangers drinking too much champagne and partying the night after. Yeah, whatever. Anyway.
Welcome to all our new listeners, Houston fans that want to troll. We're glad to have you because it still gets us money when you listen.
Yep. So thank you. And no, Eovaldi looked amazing today. 8 Ks and 6 2/3. Every pitch that he throws was working. The curve, The split was nasty. The fastball wasn't as hard as he's been throwing, or that he was throwing before the injury. You know, he was hitting 96, 97, 98 pretty regularly before the injury, but he was hitting, I think he topped out at 97. Saw a lot of 94, 95, 96, which obviously if you're throwing mid 90s, you're okay.
Yeah.
But the split coming off of that, the curveball on that glove side part of the plate, he mixed in a cutter here and there. The slider was awesome. I mean, everything that he was throwing today was just on point. He had them off balance, and the offense really showed up big with a couple home runs. First home runs. They didn't hit no home runs in the first game. It was 4-0, thanks to a few Rays errors. But and I'll say this, Ben, and you might agree or disagree. A couple of those errors, at least, the Rangers forced by being aggressive.
Yep. And
they were hitting the ball real damn hard. So, and they were today too. They were hitting the ball hard. Even the outs were loud outs. You know, line drives or deep fly balls or whatever the case may be. So, would you agree? You know, they'll blame it. They'll blame the Rays defense for the loss yesterday, but you got to score runs, number one.
Yep.
And number two, the Rangers were really putting the pressure on the base paths.
Well, the Rangers still struggled with runners in scoring position yesterday, but they did not. They did not today, and I feel like this offense is starting to hit on all cylinders again, like they were earlier in the year. And usually, when the Rangers start like this, they rip off a streak of 8, 9, 10 wins in a row.
Yeah,
so
this is
the time to do that.
Yeah, this is the team that was on the field the last 2 days was the team that we got so used to seeing earlier in the season when we had that 6.5 game lead in the West.
Yep.
And if that's what we're getting ready to see, oh man. And I mean both you and I had them picked to lose this series.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like we had, we had good reason for it. And if you want to go back and listen to the podcast from a couple days ago, feel free. But we stated our cases.
And one thing we talked about there was the only way the Rangers could win is if that offense showed back up and was productive, which is exactly what happened in this series. And
who would have known the bullpen was outstanding?
Okay, yeah, let's start. I wanted to start with the pitching. Let's start with Jordan Montgomery. My goodness, man, what a start! The Rangers need to. Side note: the Rangers need to tie him up for a couple of years. Mm-hmm. They need to sign him to an extension and keep him around. But the diving catch he had yesterday, and then just the way that he pitched yesterday, the way he dominated Tampa Bay. I mean, yeah, the errors and stuff played into it, but the Rays could not figure him out. And like you said, and then look at the bullpen come in, Aroldis Chapman, perfect inning, Jose Leclerc, perfect inning yesterday. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, all the pitching, no runs, 9 innings, no runs. The Rangers win that game 4-0. I mean, really, but besides Evan Carter, the pitching was the story of that game.
Absolutely. Montgomery, I mean, that was a workhorse ball game. 7 innings, a shutout ball. Didn't walk anybody.
Yep.
6 hits and 5 Ks. And then, as you mentioned, Chapman came in the 8th, which is where I think right now he needs to be. And Leclerc looks real. This is the Leclerc from a few years ago.
Yes.
Just the super promising guy that they signed the extension to.
Yep.
Pre-arbitration. This is the guy that we thought we were going to be getting. And he was humming at 98 miles an hour, topping out. But it was at regular 98 miles an hour on a regular basis. But then you had Josh Sborz today with an inning, a third, and a strikeout of work after they pulled Eovaldi in that 7th inning. So 6 2/3 from Eovaldi again, 8 Ks, 6 hits.
Yeah.
One run and no walks as well. Aside from the bullpen yesterday, I think they had 1 walk. I believe Leclerc had a walk. Yes. The Rangers walked.
Yeah. The Rangers
staff walked 1 hitter.
Correct.
In the entire
2 games. Yeah. And then you mentioned Sborz. If you watched any of the post game, Sborz mentioned that it kind of sucked getting beat up like he did there for a little while he was trying to regain his stuff. He said, how do you go from being as good as he was to being as bad as he was? And now back to, he said, I feel like I've got it again. And he looked like it today, as well as Leclerc's 2nd straight day. I was impressed that Leclerc got himself into a little trouble and then got himself out of it.
Yeah, he did. And to be honest, the first hit that he gave up, that was a good pitch.
Yes, it was
a bad pitch. It was right on the corner slider.
Yeah.
Hitter just did a great job. I can't remember who was up. Did a great job of just sitting back on it and waiting for it to come to the plate and slapping it. But the second one it was right down the middle.
Yeah.
But he
recovered.
Again, he recovered and he went to a 3-ball full count on the last hitter and 98 miles an hour right on the low inside quarter and ball game. He recovered, and I like how the announcers, because they never see the Rangers, so they see Leclerc out there, and he just looks like he's just hanging out on the beach.
Yeah, they said he looks like he's just so chill. That's always what he looks like, though.
Mm-hmm. That's the way he looks. He's just obviously unflappable, and if you start seeing him look a little concerned, then we need to be concerned.
I would agree with that 100%.
Even when he was struggling. We were on that side of we might be having to DFA Clerk early in the year. I mean, I was. Yep. I admit it. And
I didn't think he would recover.
Boach stuck with him and stuck with him and stuck with him.
One thing I'll give, and you talk about a guy that's unflappable. You look at Boach no matter what the score is, and he looks exactly the same every time. Now, he does get mad from time to time when things don't go. When bad calls happen,
facial expression changes.
Yeah, it's when he gets mad. But other than that, I mean, they're down 10-1, they're up 10-1. His expression is exactly the same.
Yep, and it's nice to have. I mean, up and down the roster, and they were talking about Eovaldi today, that he changed the culture of the locker room. They said that whenever all the rookies that made the club out of spring training, he bought them watches.
Yeah.
So that's neat. And we've talked about his leadership. We've heard a lot of things about, grouping up the pitching staff to watch guys throw bullpens and stuff like that. It's a different mentality from what we're used to.
Yes.
And it's have fun when it's time to have fun, and then bear down when it's time to bear down. And then obviously you're not going to be having fun if you're losing. And, they get pissed off about it. And obviously they were pissed off about the Mariners series. And probably they just looked tired. I was tired.
Yeah.
I mean, just watching them, you could just feel it. They were tired.
Yep. But I agree.
They were definitely alive these past 2 nights.
All right, let's take a short break, and then we will talk about the offense, which was also amazing. This is the Ranger Report podcast. All right, welcome back to the Ranger Report podcast on the Fans First Sports Network. Let's start by talking about a guy who is 7 for his first 8, or reached base 7 of the first 8 postseason at bats he had. And by the way, After yesterday's game, Evan Carter had more postseason hits than Mike Trout.
That was funny. You and I both got in on that. Mike Trout has, one hit?
Yeah.
And Evan Carter
had 2 yesterday.
Evan Carter this week has shown that he could be a 5-tool player, game changer. He came out after getting on base 4 times yesterday and walked in the first at bat, worked a 3-2 count, and in the second at bat jumped on a sweeper that was just left over the middle of the plate and blasted it out to right field. And that was a 4-run inning after Josh Young had that bloop single to right to score a run. And then the Rangers got another run but Leote got a base hit. I think I'm backwards on that. But anyways, they had 2 runs and then scored 2 runs earlier in the inning. And then Carter came in and hit that 2-run home run and really broke it open and allowed the Rangers to relax a little bit. I mean, they looked more relaxed and they knew they started having fun. They knew, hey, we're rolling.
Well, I mean, the dude has only been 21 for a year and a half. I mean, I talked to him at Frisco Rough Riders Media Day earlier this year. I mean, that's where he was to start the season, was with the Frisco Rough Riders. And this dude has come up and I've seen a lot of baseball. You've seen a lot of baseball. I don't remember a rookie with the plate discipline that this dude has, man. He does not swing outside of the zone. 10% is what they said his chase rate is, which is unbelievable. 9%. 9% chase rate. I mean, unbelievable the way he's played the first series of the playoffs.
Well, and they said that when they talked to him about it, how hard he works on it, he's like, I don't.
Yeah, which was hilarious. He's like, I don't work on it. Just go out there and do it.
I'm just able to do it. I was born with it, So
yeah. And then defensively, I mean, he is a defensive upgrade to anyone we've had in left field all year.
Yeah, that's why I mentioned the 5-tool player part, because he's probably either he or Leote. Let them run a 40 against one another and see which one's faster. That'd be fun. But he's got amazing speed. He's an excellent glove in the outfield. He's got a good arm. Obviously, he hits very well. He takes them. He can take walks.
Yep.
He can hit with power. He can work the count and get a base hit if need be. It's a guy that can do whatever he wants to on the field when he's on. And right now he's on, and he's needless to say, and that's your left fielder moving forward right now unless something happens, something changes, and you put him in center. Leote's going to man center field as long as he's here.
Yeah, I agree.
Carter in left and Adolis in right for the next few years at least sounds pretty damn good. But yeah, you can't underestimate or understate what Carter did over the past.
Well, are they in the playoffs and do they win this series without him? I don't know that they do.
No.
I mean, it was bad when Adolis went down with that knee injury, but if that doesn't happen, I don't think the Rangers call Carter up. And
no, I don't either.
This happened with Jurickson Profar. It happened with Nomar Mazara, guys that get called up because they have to because of an injury that wind up Rougned Odor that wind up staying, and hopefully Evan Carter works out better than Rougned Odor or Nomar Mazara. Yeah. But, if this dude can stay healthy, this dude is going to be, I'll just say it. I think he's a superstar in the making.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, to me, I thought about this, like me talking about it on the podcast is, mentioning this on the podcast kind of be sacrilege, but he's got Mike Trout, left-handed Mike Trout written all over him. And just with his demeanor and his attitude and his couth.
Well, and remember when the Rangers drafted him, most people said, who? Like, who is this
nobody
kid?
had him on their list at all.
Well, kudos to the scouting department of the Rangers. Yeah. Brilliant to see Evan Carter and take him in the second round. People thought they were nuts.
Yeah, they were laughing at us.
And now they're like, who is this kid?
They're not laughing now.
There's still people asking who he is. He's the Rangers' number one prospect. There's still people asking who he is.
There's still Rangers fans.
He passed Jack Leiter, Kumar Rocker. He's higher than Wyatt Langford. He is the number one prospect. And because he barely played, he will be a rookie next year. So watch out, Rookie of the Year campaign.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let's talk about the other rookie
who should have been Rookie of the Year had he not had the injury, Josh Young, who also had a really good series offensively and defensively.
Yeah, especially today. He's 3 for 4.
Yeah.
All extra base hits.
Yep.
And he had an excellent game defensively. He was just can't say enough about Josh Young either, the future that he's got.
Yeah.
Getting a full year under his belt. And like we talked about on the last podcast with all the young guys, there's a lot of them on here that haven't played this deep into a season.
Yep.
A lot. Not even close to playing a season with this much, with this many games. So it's a learning experience as well.
That left side of the field, how young is it? You got Young, you got Evan Carter, and even if you count down to home plate, Jonah Heim, you've got three fairly young players that are making a huge impact in this first postseason run the Rangers have had in 7 years.
Adolis is also, he didn't have hardly, I don't think he has any playoff experience.
No, he does. He has no playoff experience.
And so that, man, he hit a curveball away.
Yeah.
Or a sweeper away. So I guess that's what we're calling sweeping sliders.
Yeah, I think we're calling them sweepers now. Yeah.
But I guess there's a regular slider and a sweeping. I don't.
They change it all the time.
Anyways, he weighted back on a slider and hit it on the outer half of the plate, pulled it, and just absolutely clobbered it. That just shows you how strong that dude is. And
and Seager is still hitting just fine.
Yeah, he everything that he hit, that Seager hit,
was hard.
Like you could hear in the way the bat sounded in that dome.
Yeah,
I mean, just a loud popping each time Seager made contact. Yep. So this has been, the last 2 days were a bunch of fun. I'll eat crow because I said,
same here.
But you're the one that actually kind of covered yourself, and you said you could see a sweep either way.
Yeah, I did, but I didn't. I mean, I was saying that because I'm a Rangers fan and I wanted it, but I thought if they won it, it would be 2-1, and I thought it would be very, very close. I didn't think it would be 11-1 scoring differential, and the Rays just looked flat. Like they didn't even belong there, which they did. Right. Don't get me wrong. They won 99 games, I think.
Yes, and it was their first 12 games they won, is what I
13. First 13. But they won 99. I mean, they belonged there. They just got outplayed.
They did. They flat out did. They looked flat yesterday, like you mentioned, and today was just.
Today they did what the Rangers had been doing. They finally got people in scoring position, but they couldn't do anything with them once they got them there.
Mm-hmm. The team buckled down. The pitching staff buckled down both times. Eovaldi did give up a run, but what do you do?
So my MVP would be Evan Carter for this series. How about you?
I guess I got two. I guess the pitching staff as a whole only.
That was the other one I was thinking. Yeah,
only giving up one run in 18 innings. That's awesome. But if you want to go with a player, it's hard for me not to go with a pitcher. I'm going to go with Jordan Montgomery because
he set the tone.
You know what? That he coming off that Seattle series, losing 3 of 4, and everybody's we're all down on them. We're just like, they're going to be. I mean, the way they went into the playoffs, it's going to be a quick exit, first round exit. Jordan Montgomery went out there and was the man, and shut them down and allowed the Rangers offense to get into gear to make some plays, make Tampa Bay have to make difficult plays that could have been made, obviously, but force some errors and just have fun on the base paths. So I'm going to go with Jordan Montgomery because he set the tone with his performance yesterday and getting that game 1 win.
I don't disagree with that. And as a former Rangers manager who took him to the playoffs said, that's how baseball go. That's the way baseball go. So
absolutely.
So the Rangers have the Orioles coming up now, a 7-game series. Or is it 5-game?
I think we're going 5.
5, sorry. Yeah, ALDS is 5-game series. Yeah. 5-game series against the Baltimore Orioles, who we split 3-3. We'll talk about that. I think we'll do a show on Friday. CJ and I talked about off the air, previewing it once we know how the starting rotation is going to line up. Know a little bit more about the series.
Right now it's to be determined. And going into Saturday, let's see. That's going to give Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, Jordan Montgomery will have a regular rest.
Well, he'll have 4 days of rest,
Yeah, he'll have regular 4 days of rest. Eovaldi the same. Dane Dunning will have a lot of rest. So
I could see him starting Dunning in game 1 or Montgomery.
I could.
Because Dunning hasn't pitched in a while now. I could see him starting Dunning and then doing Montgomery and then Eovaldi. But the Rangers will make that decision later this week. Today, they need to celebrate without anyone doubting that, they shouldn't be celebrating. I mean, it's just your first playoff win in 12 years. Why should you celebrate it?
Yeah. And by the way, they're 7-0 in the playoffs against Tropicana
That's incredible. At Tropicana Field, 7-0.
They own Tropicana Field.
it's Texas Rangers Tropicana Field now.
Yeah, it is. It might as well be. 7-0 in playoff games against Tampa Bay. That's unheard of, and that's a team that Tampa Bay, they're in the playoffs. They're in playoff contention almost every
year.
Yeah, every single year. They always come up with talent. They do the right things. Their farm system's excellent. Their coaching period is excellent. I mean, look at the guys. A former Ranger came on to pitch last night. Lefty.
Jake Diekman.
Yeah, Jake Diekman. He got released. He got DFA'd from Chicago. Had an 8 ERA. He goes over to Tampa Bay. Bam, his ERA gets lowered to 4.
Yeah,
just like that, and he's pitching in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and there's somebody else that I was thinking about that they had.
Well, I gotta admit, I'm a big fan of Kevin Cash. I think he's a great manager. I think he's doing a great job in Tampa.
Yeah, they're Tampa Bay. I mean, going in there and being 7-0 in Tampa Bay. That's something to write home about. It really is.
It's one of those fluky things in baseball that you just can't explain. Why do the Rangers? I mean, it doesn't happen during the regular season. They lose there all the time during the regular season. But you put the Rangers against the Rays in the postseason, and they cannot be beat.
Yeah, it's one of those.
I mean, we played them 3 times in the postseason, and we've won all 3 series.
All 3 series. Yeah.
So
that's a fact.
And the Rangers have played Baltimore. The Rangers have played Baltimore before. It wasn't in the playoffs, though. It was a play-in game. Yeah,
that play-in.
It was a play-in game that we lost. Yeah, Joe Saunders pitched for Baltimore.
Yeah, that was the Josh Hamilton I don't give a shit game.
That was
he saw 8 pitches and 4 at bats, and
that was the one.
Like 3 of them back to the pitcher.
Yeah,
it was horrible.
But yeah, so they have played Baltimore, didn't go well, but they split with Baltimore this season, like we said, 3-3. So it ought to be a fantastic series. Good pitching. It really all comes down to, can the Rangers bullpen continue to throw up zeros?
Right. Yeah. That's the case. And their lineup is sneaky. And again, we'll dig more into it over the next few days as we gear up for Saturday, whenever they resume in the ALDS. But right now we don't know who's pitching. It's TBD for both sides.
Yeah.
And we'll do our homework, and we'll get in on that one. We'll have Tyler come in as well.
Yep.
And we'll look forward to
we'll do a foursome. I might see if Kane can come on too, and we'll have
let's do that.
Have a sort of like a round table about the Baltimore series, because in my opinion, from here on out, it's just cake. Like, we didn't expect them to get this far, so now it's just like, it's fun. We get to talk about it. We get to keep watching baseball, whether they win or lose. This is a way better season than anyone predicted the Texas Rangers would have in 2023.
It's been extremely fun, and Bruce Bochy said this yesterday, that the Texas Rangers, this team, he said he's never seen something like this before.
Yeah.
He's never seen a season like this before. He's never managed a season like this before. And that dude, obviously, he's managed a lot of games. He's top 5 in wins as a manager. So, yeah, at times it's been extremely exciting, and times it's been extremely depressing.
Yeah.
But
as they say, you get in the dance, anything can happen. And we saw that over the last 2 days.
Just get in there, you know, even though, it sucked that we didn't win the division and we didn't have to work. But I think it may have been a blessing in disguise, because you go in there and you sweep Tampa Bay. And
now you got all the momentum in the world.
Now you're taking a lot of momentum into that series with Baltimore. So this may have been a blessing in disguise, y'all. I mean,
and I didn't want to mention this, but I'm going to just one mention of it. Houston sucks at home, and they have home field advantage.
Yeah, that's true.
The Astros had a losing record at home this year.
The Rangers swept the Astros in Houston earlier in the year. Really early.
Yep. Yeah, then they didn't win again. But no, I mean, Houston,
they came and swept us too.
They annihilated us in that series.
All over the place. Yeah, we had
that was where Altuve had 35 home runs or whatever in that series. Yeah,
Austin Hedges was our best pitcher.
And look, for everyone who is I don't know what to call the Astros fans on Twitter that are going nuts, but I mean, you guys have been the cream of the crop for the last 6 years. There's no denying it. You guys have been one of the best teams, if not the best team in baseball. And, I think, in my opinion, it's fun that both teams are good. Mm-hmm. Like, no matter who wins this year, if the Astros go all the way, congratulations to them. I won't be happy about it, but congratulations to them. If the Rangers go all the way, awesome. But I think just the possibility of a Texas and Houston ALCS is just, I get shivers thinking about how amazing it would be to watch Texas and Houston play in the ALCS.
It would make that rivalry so much hotter. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. And I think at least for the next year or two, both teams are going to be pretty good. And then I think Houston's going to be in some trouble because they have no minor league system whatsoever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's just like, and you and I've talked about it a lot. It's just funny how much Houston fans care about the Rangers and trolling the fans and trolling the beat writers. What happened with Emily Jones is unacceptable.
Yeah.
Unacceptable.
But to be fair, so a bunch of Houston fans also agree that it was unacceptable. So it's not like I don't want to lump them all into one. It was it was a couple of morons that did it, not your regular Houston fan base.
And that's where I think what it is now, it needs to start figure out a way. I mean, Twitter's just become harassment central.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It has.
And so they got to figure out a way to curb that, but that's not my job.
But healthy debate between us and Astros fans is so much fun.
Yeah, it is.
Especially now that we're both good. Like trash talking back and forth is a blast. During that series in Houston with the iconic picture of Simeon telling Maldonado to quiet down, like brilliant stuff, man. And then Houston getting us back in Texas. I mean, that's what you want. You want a real rivalry where the players don't like each other either. Like the Cowboys and Redskins used to be back in the old days of the NFL.
Yeah, like the Cowboys and Eagles have been for
a while now. Yeah,
for a long time.
You want two teams that actually don't. I mean, you don't just want the fans not to like each other. You don't want the players to like each other.
Yeah, with the Rangers and the Blue Jays, that was
a real rivalry.
Hated each other.
Yeah, they did.
Hated each other.
Yeah.
But now this is super exciting, and we're just riding riding their coattails right now.
Like I said, it's all cake at this point. I'm excited about the ALCS. It's the first time I've been excited about, or ALDS. I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. First time in a long time, and I've been excited about the ALDS. Looking forward to it. CJ and I and Tyler and maybe Kane will break it down on Friday for you guys leading into that series.
I'm going to make a prediction.
Okay.
Well, not really a prediction, but just to look out for this. Don't be surprised if Evan Carter's hitting third. On Saturday. Yeah. Don't be surprised because he almost, from what I was told, almost hit third today. So,
I mean, why not?
Yeah, don't be surprised if you see Evan Carter in the 3 spot.
He does not seem to be fazed by the fact that it's the playoffs.
Nope, not at all.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We enjoy doing this. Obviously, that's why we do it. But we wanted to get on here pretty quick after that game to just enjoy it, bask in the glow, if you will, a little bit of that 7-1 victory today. Josh Spores, Jose Leclerc, and of course Nathan Eovaldi. Such a fantastic day today. Offense came through, stealing bases, just all around the kind of game that can turn a season around. And this is the time that you want to turn your season around and start playing like you did back in April and May.
Absolutely. We're just riding their coattails. We're going to enjoy the ride as long as it goes. And hopefully it goes on for a long time now, till we get to the very, very, very end. But now it's just, no matter what happens, we're just going to have fun.
We are. All right, guys, we will talk to you on the next one.
Deuces.
Tuesdays.
Thanks for listening to the Ranger Report podcast. Find us on Twitter, Facebook, and at therangerreport.com.